Today I'm going to be going through a mobility workshop with you. We're going to talk a little bit about mobility, and then I'm going to do an equipment-free little workout with you, something that you can do, whether it be at home, at work, whatever you'd like. Okay? So let's get into it. First things first, let's define what mobility is, because a lot of people, they confuse mobility with flexibility. They might hear the term, but not really know too much exactly what it means. That's what I'm here for today, okay? So mobility is the ability to move freely and easily, okay? So essentially, mobility is in every single thing that you're going to do ever. Whether it's doing an exercise, it's being able to get out of bed, pain-free, playing with your children, no matter what it is, mobility is incorporated in your life in a bunch of different aspects, okay? The biggest thing with mobility is it is active. So flexibility, it is passive. Mobility, it is active. So we are actively doing this, okay? With mobility, there is a lot of different things you can do with or without equipment. But for the majority of it, you do not need equipment to do mobility or to do a little mobility routine or workout, okay? So if you're at home still, you're not working, and you don't have a foam roller, you don't have any medicine balls that you can use or rogue balls, you don't have absolutely nothing, that's fine. You can use no equipment at all and still move your body and be productive and efficient with your exercises, okay? And that's why the workout that I'm going to take you through today, you do not need any equipment at all, okay? So it gives you some ideas if you're used to only ever using a foam roller or using a ball. This is a good option for you if you don't have anything at all, okay? Breathing is a very important part of mobility because it is active and we're doing things, we're really using our breath to get us in certain positions and to hold and to get deeper into that position. It's really important to use our breathing. Just like as if we were going to lift weight, we want to focus on our breath, making sure that our core is nice and embraced the whole time, and using our breath to help us through those sticky parts. So what I mean by the sticky parts is if you're just essentially very tight in that area, you can use an inhale on a 4 count and an exhale on an 8 count in order to get a little bit more into that stretch. Now, it's not something to say that you're just going to do an inhale and an exhale and all of a sudden you're going to be doing the full stretch better than you ever had. No, just like everything, it takes time, practice, patience of actually trying to be actively involved with that stretch and make progressions over time, okay? But doing the inhale on a 4, exhale on an 8 will definitely help you to get there, okay? The next point that I want to talk to you about is holding your stretches. Now, when you're doing a class with PSP or if you've been following along with any of the live classes, for the sake of the class, we usually only hold the stretch for about 15 seconds, but you actually want to be holding the stretch for a lot longer than that. Ideally, you would want to hold the stretch for 2 minutes per whatever muscle group you are stretching. That way you're getting adequate time to actually be active in that position and make some real changes, okay? So that's where doing the breath and holding the position for inhale on a 4, exhale on an 8, going through those sticky parts in that 2-minute duration, you're actually going to be able to notice some change. If you're just going, stretching, holding for 10 seconds and then that's it, you're not breathing, you're not actively thinking about what you're doing, you're not going to get anywhere with that, okay? Another big thing too is to stretch where you feel it. Everyone's body is different. Everyone is different in terms of mobility, just like strength and endurance, everything else. This is the exact same as that, okay? Same principle. Everyone is different. So where you're going to feel the stretch might be not the same as the instructor, where the instructor is going to feel the stretch. So it is very, very crucial to hold the stretch wherever And again, once you feel that stretch, you're going to sit with that. Make sure to inhale on the 4 and exhale on the 8. Okay? You can also feel free too to meditate into your stretch. So if that's something that you find beneficial for yourself, definitely meditate into that stretch. That will allow you to think about what you're doing, be more present, but also help activate you to get deeper into that stretch, okay? And potentially hold it for longer than 2 minutes. Holding it longer is not going to do any damage. It's just if you're not holding it long enough that becomes a problem, okay? So another thing I want to mention is that there's prerequisites, to allow us to do a movement or exercise, okay? So let's say you really want to get into Olympic lifting and you'd love to do a clean. Well, you don't have the mobility to do that, okay? Let's say even you want to do a squat. We'll take it down a notch. You just want to do a simple squat, but you don't have the mobility to do that. It's great to have goals and fitness goals for ourselves, but we want to make sure that we have done the prerequisites in order to do that exercise, okay? If we do not do the prerequisites for that exercise, then that's definitely going to cause us to get injured, okay? And that's where mobility is very important, because we're able to see when we're doing our stretches, we're being more in tune with our bodies. And you might not have never realized that you have limited shoulder mobility, let's say. Okay, well, you don't want to maybe do anything overhead if you have very limited shoulder mobility. Doing sequences, doing mobility routines and workouts will allow us to see what prerequisites we're missing in order to do a certain exercise or movement, and practicing that will allow us to reach that goal, okay? So this is definitely, if you're someone that doesn't stretch often, doing something like this is going to help you be more in tune, and it's going to translate into better movement patterns just day-to-day life, but also better movement patterns in order for you to do the certain exercises that maybe you're wishing to try out or just simply get better at, okay? So ultimately, our health depends on movement, okay? Doing movement makes our cartilage stronger, our joints healthier. It's essential to life. Not just wanting to work out and being as strong as you can or run as fast as you can. It's essential just for our overall health and well-being, okay? Mobility is something that you can do your entire life. You can start whenever and you can stop at whatever age, okay? It is crucial part of the foundation of building our strength, our endurance, everything else, okay? That's why it is really, really important to do mobility. And mobility doesn't need to be an hour long. It doesn't even need to be half an hour long. It can be a simple 10-minute routine that you do every morning or on your lunch break. Or even if you decide to get up off your desk, you've been sitting all day at your desk, you can do some of the exercises that I'm going to show you today just being at your office. So with mobility, there really is no time constraint on when you would need to do it, or how long you need to do it, or how many reps or sets or anything like that. It's pretty free in terms of how many exercises you can do, how many reps you can do. Like I said, you want to try to stick around the 2-minute mark. But of course, if you're really tight that day, moving your body a little bit is better than not moving it at all. And that goes to say too, if you have really crappy joints, it's still better to move crappy joints than to not move them at all, okay? So movement is key. Your health depends on movement, essentially, okay? Hopefully that was a good background on everything. That was just a quick little intro to mobility and how it is beneficial to you in your everyday life, okay? Now I'm going to take you through 6 different exercises that, like I said, you can do this at home because it doesn't require any equipment at all. So if you're not able to go to the gym or you don't have any balls or foam rollers, then this is something you can most certainly do at home alone. You can do this at your desk. You can do this during your workout. So this would be definitely something good to do as a warm-up. You can even incorporate mobility into your warm-up before you're about to lift or go for a run, whatever it is. Mobility is a great way to incorporate into your actual workout, okay? So I have it written down here. You might not be able to see, but I'm going to talk us through all of this. And yeah,